Hey everyone, Sparks back with another Goddess Victory Nikke video, and we are talking about Zwei today. She is our brand new schoolgirl unit, and looks like we'll finally finish off this whole classroom squad that included our most recent unit, as well as going back to Ray all the way back at our last anniversary. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at her. I gotta be honest, just from a design perspective, I like her a lot more than I initially thought I would. I think her leg greaves look really cool, and those dual sawed-off shotguns are pretty dope. Anyway, she is a burst 1 supporter with a shotgun, or 2 shotguns actually. Code electric. She's got an ammo capacity of 9 and a reload time of 1.5 seconds, dealing 100.75% of attack damage. Okay, so skill 1 does, it's called Pierce Equation, activates when entering full burst, affects all allies. Pierce damage goes up by 20% for 1 shot, and then pierce damage goes up 10% for 10 seconds. Okay, so you're effectively getting a 30% pierce bonus on the first shot, and this is for her and all other allies. Now, this doesn't give other allies pierce, but any allies that already has pierce is going to benefit from this. So obviously, big ones that jump to mind here are going to be like Red Hood, Alice, Maxwell, maybe Snow White, and of course we got a lot of other units. Naga actually does have pierce too. I think a lot of times people forget about that, and then various other units that are not commonly used. But anytime you can increase pierce damage, that's good, because pierce is one of the strongest abilities in the game, and the good thing about pierce is that you're hitting multiple parts. That's the whole reason why this is good, right? Because you can go through their body and hit a part, or maybe hit 2 or 3 parts in one shot. This is particularly valuable with things like Snow White's burst or Maxwell's burst, or just Red Hood all the time, basically. That is going to double your damage if you can hit multiple parts. Well, not double your damage, because you're going to get your base damage, right? But you're going to get, if you get a 10% pierce damage boost, you're going to get that 10% pierce damage boost on each thing that you pierce through. So this looks like this could be a potentially very valuable burst here, or not burst rather, but skill that could really help your teams. The big question mark is going to be, are we actually going to use her on a team with someone like Red Hood or Alice or whatever? We'll find that out. Let's go ahead and read the rest of her skills. So skill 2, it's called Frame Analysis, activates after landing 5 normal attacks, affects all allies, and recovers 5.72% of cover's HP. This is really cool. This automatically makes her a solid unit. Cover recovery is really valuable, and not a lot of units do it, and it's super useful. Now, going to our best cover recovery unit, if we take a look at Leader, I think she still does way more. Okay, so every 15 seconds she recovers recover by 52%, which is crazy. Of course, it only does it for the 2 allies that have the lowest cover, so you're not going to be attaining every unit there. The other one that is most commonly used, of course, is going to be Naga, and she does it by less than Leader, but a little more than Zwei here, I think. Let me see. What was her value? I should have looked up her skills ahead of time. Oh, recovers HP recovery by 14.57%. So this is a little bit more. It also does it for all allies, same as Zwei. This is on the lower end, but cover recovery is going to be valuable in a lot of situations. So just a solid skill, and getting another unit. Not everybody has all those units, so if you don't already have a cover recovery unit, I would definitely recommend you pick up Zwei for that reason, because it's just going to make so many battles a lot easier. And then it says activates when entering full burst, affects all allies. Crit rate goes up by 18% for 5 seconds. Crit rate is very mid. This wouldn't be a reason to pull her. I mean, you can make crit teams. Probably the most viable crit team is going to be Snow White. You can crit fish on her burst, but 5 seconds does not work very well with Snow White's burst. You can do there were previous crit builds like the 2B and volume, and crit can work. But it's probably not going to be a reason to really pull her. That may or may not be relevant when you're actually using her. Okay, let's take a look at her burst, and most importantly, this is a 20-second cooldown. So having a 20-second cooldown is imperative for making almost all units work. Occasionally, there's a unit that's worth using with a 40-second cooldown, but 20-second is definitely a big step in the right direction. And it says affects self. Changes her weapon in use. So very similar to like what happens with Snow White. When she goes to her burst, she gets a charged weapon instead of her normal assault rifle. So it changes the weapon in use. Charge time is going to be 1.5 seconds, so pretty quick charge. That's cool. And damage is 50% of final attack, I guess if you just release it immediately. But a full charge damage is going to be 300% of damage. So you're going to get 50% of final attack times 300%. So this will be a very hard hitting skill. Now, granted, she is a support unit, so her base attack won't be as strong because it's final attack. She'll get a lot of bonuses from whatever other attack buffs and gear that she has on there. So could be quite good. It's only for one shot. Again, similar to like Maxwell as well. More and more, I'm starting to think she might be a good Maxwell partner because of the pierce damage thing and the crit rate. This is looking pretty good, and this burst also has pierce on it natively, so she's going to get her own pierce damage buff from her skill 1, and it also affects all allies. Pierce damage goes up by 15% for 10 seconds. Okay, that's really good. So again, that's gonna be very valuable with if you use her on like a pierce damage like crit kind of thing with Snow White or Maxwell, which are oftentimes on the same team. So maybe this is going to work. But I don't know. Using her over Volume or Miranda, I don't know. I don't know if she'll actually make it onto a Snow White team, but it's possible. I don't know. I almost see her going with Alice or Red Hood. She might not even make it on to like a Union raid team if we're being real here. I mean, the thing is she doesn't have cooldown reduction, right? Which is just like the big thing you want on any team, no matter what. You want that cooldown reduction. So if you want cooldown reduction, you would be pairing her with Dola because she's a burst 2, right? And then you get your cover recovery and you're getting your cooldown reduction, of course, with all the other buffs they're getting as well. So you could, in theory, do that on Snow White Maxwell. That could work. I don't know. I think it's maybe I'm gonna say that's probably not an optimal Snow White team, just from like theory crafting. Of course, testing will reveal more. But it is a potentially viable option. But just in general, for a general use unit, I would say if you are someone that does not have cover recovery, she is a valuable pickup for sure. And could potentially even go on the shotgun team because she is a shotgun unit. But then you're taking out Tuve, and then you're still not getting your cooldown reduction. So, I mean, her having a shotgun is probably more of like a coincidence than her actually going on the shotgun team. I guess you could get really cute and do a shotgun team with Nive because she has Pierce as well, a piercing shotgun. That'd be kind of fun just to do. But that's kind of like more you're memeing at that point. But yeah, I don't know. I was really set to pass on her. I decided, I skipped the last unit. I'm probably gonna skip her just because I'm saving for the collab that's coming up really soon, which I still think is what most people will probably want to do. But Zwei has pretty useful skills. I feel like she's not the best option for anything, but is useful for a lot of players, and could potentially get onto a solo raid team. And if you're just, like I said, someone that's like still trying to push through campaign and maybe you don't have leader, some cover recovery is going to be really good. You are getting some other decent support abilities, and that could really help you against certain bosses. And the Pierce ability, again, to like go through multiple parts. Maybe you're building Alice, things like that. I don't know, I kind of like her. I think the unit that she fits best with is going to be Maxwell, and you could do maybe like a Zwei, Dola, Maxwell, and then like whoever else you want to fit onto that team. But we'll see. Seems like a pretty solid unit. that has a decent amount of flexibility. But let me know, what do you think of Zwei? Is our latest German schoolgirl someone worth it to you to pull? Are you still holding strong for the collab? I might do one pull. I'm kind of tempted to do one pull, which is just like total gambling at that point. But whatever, we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you're planning to do, and I will see you guys on stream later tonight. So make sure you subscribe so you don't forget the notification for that. And catch you guys next video or stream.